But today is raining. It's gonna be a good day of practice, bro. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get to this field. All right, boys, let's go. Alright guys, I'm here to talk about the Bible. I told you guys that I wanted to talk about the Bible after practice. I don't want to just be a blank surface. I feel like I have a duty and an obligation to talk about the Bible. And, you know, if you don't believe in the Bible, don't believe in Jesus, I encourage you guys to be a little bit open-minded. I'm not going to judge you. I'm no one to judge. I'm imperfect. I'm literally going to talk about how imperfect I am and my journey and how self-absorbed I was, and I need to rely on God. In James chapter 3 verse 16 it says, "For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you will find disorder and every evil practice." And I feel like this is so true. You know, when I was living in the world, and what I mean by that is when I was not following God's orders, not following God's rules, not keeping my faith in Him, I felt like I was very lost. I was following evil practices and I was doing the wrong things. And it felt like the more I practiced evil practices, you know, the more I relied on myself than I would rely on God, the more I just became depressed, sad. I felt like I was walking a path that had no end. Honestly, if you really think about it, man, we only have ideas of things that we want to do with our lives, and you know, we try to strive for it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when we make it our God, when we make it our first priority over everything, then we start to see the calamity. And what I mean by that, we start to cave in on ourselves. We start to kind of have like a breakdown. You know, when we don't get what we want to get. You know, 2 years ago, I wanted to already have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I did so many other things. I did Bible studies, I did gaming, I did anime, I did all these different things, and I never felt that peace inside me, because first, I don't know if it was God's timing that I was going to be called to it sooner rather than later. Second, I don't know if I was making Him proud, because I had my own selfish ambitions. And I'm going to say it here in live, and this is why I feel like I'm not a good person sometimes. You know, I had selfish motives. I had selfish motives when I was doing those things. And it's no wonder God didn't bless me or let me have the opportunity to grow spiritually, physically, and mentally, because I was holding myself back by having these selfish ambitions. When I was making YouTube, when I was first doing these videos, I was only in it for the money. Like, I was like, when am I going to start to get paid? And it's super disgusting, man. Like, I would talk about the Bible, and here I am asking people for money. And even now, I'm ashamed of myself, and I'm disgusted by my own selfish ambitions and not putting God first. And that's something that I want to do now, is give a chance to myself and give a chance to anybody else that wants to turn and repent from their selfish ambitions, their selfish motives, that put themselves first rather than God. And right now, the reason why I bring this up is because I have a lot of envy, and that's where that other word comes. I had selfish ambitions, selfish motives. And it says in James chapter 3 verse 16, for where you have envy, I was envious. I was envious of people that had it all. When the gaming stuff, I was envious that they had a PC, they had the top tier headset, the top tier graphics card. I'm saying a bunch of nerd stuff, but I was jealous and envious that they had it all in their hand by doing something so simple, by playing video games. They got rich, and I wanted that so bad. And when that didn't work out, I wanted to get into something like talking about the Bible. But when I would hear these people talk, I would envy them. I would get jealous of their wisdom and how they created a following. And I just went down this rabbit hole of going to the next person, being envious of that person, going to the next person, being envious of that person. And it sucks, man. It sucks because even when I keep reading this, I felt envious, I felt jealous, and I felt like I was trying to achieve my own selfish ambition. And that's exactly why God never blessed me. God never gave me the motivation to keep striving, to keep moving forward, because I was so disgusting in my selfish ways. He didn't allow that to happen, and I thank God for that, because it really woke me up. Because deep down in my heart, I knew I was sinning. I knew I was being disgusting. I knew I was doing all the wrong things. And I'm glad that, God shed a light on it. And and when God shed a light on it, it made me see how, first of all, aware I was. Like, I wasn't self-aware at all. It made me self-aware now that I was doing evil things. I was doing disgusting things. And then right to the next sentence, it says, there you find disorder and every evil practice. I found myself practicing, lying to people, being dishonest to people, not telling the truth, lying to people, hiding. And when I would preach the word, like in the past, people struggle, yes, but I would find myself practicing, like, I would practice lying, I would practice gaslighting, I would practice all these evil practices, man. I would try to gaslight people into giving me views, to getting me likes, and I saw how disgusting I was, and I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to keep my attention on God, and whether this works out or not, I just want to make God proud first of all, and I don't want to be ashamed of myself anymore. And I want to encourage anybody that's doing the wrong thing or doing the practices to have some self-awareness, and I say this humbly, to look at yourselves and see if you're doing the wrong thing. And if you know that you're doing the wrong thing, change and repent, bro, because I promise you that's only stunning your growth mentally and spiritually and physically to the person that you could become. If you're lying to yourself, if you're watching websites, the pornography, if you're stealing, if you're doing any of those things, man, turn and repent, man. Because I can tell you from experience, man, that type of life is not fulfilling. It just creates more sorrow. It creates more sadness, depression. You don't know your purpose. You don't know where God has his path for you, because you're stunning your own growth. You're hurting yourself before you can even get started, But that's all I wanted to say, guys, is that don't have these selfish ambitions. Try to be honest. I know sometimes it can be hard because we live in these fleshly bodies that are made to sin because of Adam. and because of Eve when they introduced sin into the world. But man, just try to be honest in everything that you do, in every practice that you do. Try to be honest in everything, man. And I can vouch for myself that I've not been a good Christian. I have not been the perfect example for other people to look at, but truthfully, man, I want to become something more, because I know that I can, and I know that God planted that seed into my heart where I know I can grow, and I know you guys can grow too. If this is something, if this speaks to you, man, I encourage you guys to really look at yourselves and, try to put whatever you had behind you, put it behind you, man. Whatever you have, that bitterness, that anger, that jealousy, that envy, that selfish ambition, that self-pride, put it behind you, man. Repent, man, because I'm telling you right now from experience, I'm 22 years old, and I'm glad that I'm seeing it when I'm a little bit younger, but I should have seen it a long time ago, man, because I would have been farther much quicker. And just a little story real quick. My grandma kept saying, go to college. And I was like, no, I don't need to go to college. And I had that prideful spirit in my heart. Now that I'm 22, I could have had my degree. I could have had my own apartment. I could have had my own things. But that's what happens, man. Having a prideful heart, that's what happens. You don't allow yourself to grow spiritually and mentally. And you only stunt your growth. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm not going to keep on jabbering on the same things, but yeah. If you're new here, man, I do encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe. And I really want to change, and I really want to grow and grow closer to God. So if you guys are new here, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.